All right, everybody, welcome to National Chumps Season 2, episode number 9, the week 4 recap episode. Just Rev and myself today. Bird already went to bed.
I think he's just a little sad that he went 0-3 again.
Yeah, he didn't want to show his face on here. I think that's probably disappointing to him, but that's okay. I think we have to make him do another TikTok dance. We have to.
You got to do something for him. And if you're following Jaybird, I hope you're not playing his picks. I hope you followed along with me this week, though, because I'm going to pat myself on the back here. Went 5-1 on the Instagram graphic, 2-1 on the show. Felt pretty good. Felt pretty good to get some wins on the board for a change.
Yeah, it was a good weekend for you for sure. Pod picks 1 and 2. Hawaii blew it last night on a brutal pick six. They turned the ball over too many times. Fresno State, good ball club, I guess. Good ball club.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but
I mean, good enough to play in like the Las Vegas Bowl at the end of the year or whatever. I think Instagram picks. I think I finished even Steven. I think doesn't matter. The teaser hit. That's all that matters. Plus money wins, baby. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I put together a late night parlay. I was hammering a DraftKings profit boost. So UTSA, I had to sweat them out on the money line. They went all the way down to the wire with Colorado State in a crazy finish. Took their own extra point off the board to try to go for 2. They had the backup quarterback in for the last quarter at least, and he led them all the way back. Had a good time, just slinging the rock around. And then they put their first string quarterback in on the 2-point conversion because he's got more of a runner style. They did an RPO and didn't hit. So 17-16 win for UTSA. Took Louisiana Monroe plus 5.5. That hit. And then Colorado, Wyoming over, and USC, Michigan State over. And felt pretty good to put some extra money in the pocket there just off a quick little profit boost,
Yeah, I feel like USC overs are probably the move going forward. I think that they're going to score a lot, and I think they're going to give up a lot of points.
I agree with that statement right there. I was watching Michigan State last night, and that Childs kid's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah, he's not bad.
Their running back, I believe his name was. It started with an M. I mean, it was like midnight last night because they had some pretty scary injuries in that Michigan State kid. Yeah. They had to bring the stretcher out for one player, and he had his extremities were good, so things seem to move in the right direction there. But I mean, Michigan State was even putting points on them, and I don't know. USC probably just feels like they can blow anybody out or at least keep pace with anybody. Kind of reminds me of some of those Oregon teams in the past that played a lot of that similar style. Very, very, very Pac-12 feel for the USC Trojans this year.
They feel very West Coast. It feels like every Lincoln Riley team ever. Like we're going to score a shit ton of points and we're going to give up a shit ton of points, and we just hope that we're on the right side at the end of it.
Yeah, so definitely be looking out for those USC overs the next few weeks. I know I will.
I definitely will. I mean, they have Illinois this weekend, so over feels right there. I don't know what it is. I haven't looked yet.
No, I haven't gone too far. Actually, I have it right in front of me. 60.5 for USC and Illinois. That seems like a pretty safe over, even with USC traveling to the Midwest. It is a 10 a.m. start too. So hopefully USC can wake up and be ready to go on that Saturday morning Tilly. Big noon Saturday, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is big noon kickoff. How about it?
Pretty big game.
I wish that Fox would move that window a little bit so they could come to the West Coast schools. Like I'd love to see like Urban Meyer and Mark Ingram around Eugene and Seattle and get them out here on the West Coast. But because of certain rules, they can't kick off before 10 a.m. So sucks to suck.
The more you know.
Yeah, but that's why the West Coast is the best for college football because, I mean, kickoffs are at 9 a.m. The last kickoff's at 9 p.m., baby. You can't miss them. Miss them.
Yep. And that's a really good point, too, because I remember growing up in Michigan for the first few years of my life. And, Michigan Wolverines were the big thing since the Lions counted 0-1, 0-2, 0-3 growing up. It was either you liked the Wolverines or you liked Ohio State. And, you watch games at noon and thinking about that now, it's like, dang, like that's football game started at 1. You went to church and you still had an hour and a half before a game started. So just crazy, crazy different. I love the NFL for mountain time.
Yeah.
But I think I would like that West Coast time for college football for sure, just because of all the games you get to watch just all day.
Yeah. I mean, when we lived on the East Coast in Vermont, it was like the noon kickoffs. It felt like you were waiting all day. And then it was like, what time does Oregon play? 9:30. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Gonna be a
That's a
long one.
that's a grind. That's a grind. So uh I guess reviewing some of the bigger games of this week, I think the game that stood out to me for the most part, I think as like the biggest like surprise would probably for me be that Indiana Illinois game. I did not expect Indiana to just absolutely beat the brakes off of Illinois.
Kurt Signetti is sick and tired of hearing about his program being a bottom feeder in the Big Ten and just getting lucky. He is going to run it up on whoever the hell he can.
Yeah. And, we were talking a little bit the last couple of weeks about how good Illinois looked, and Indiana has just always kind of been there, right? Like last year, they kind of came out of nowhere, and this year they've been kind of getting overlooked a little bit. But Fernando Mendoza is a stud.
Yeah.
He can
upgraded for
sling
sure.
the rock, and I really like him at quarterback for Indiana. And they're going to be they're going to be kind of right there with Michigan at the end between like there's that top 3 tier in the Big Ten with Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, and then I think you kind of look at Indiana, Michigan, and Illinois, USC. Like I think those are 4 teams that could push to go to the Big Ten title game, especially with a huge matchup this weekend.
Yeah, big one.
Yeah, it's I'm hoping to see a really good game this weekend out of Oregon and Penn State, but I think that I didn't really anticipate Indiana to beat the brakes off Illinois like they did. I really didn't. I was even questioning why they were the favorite going into that game, just because Illinois had all of this momentum from the preseason polls, all of this momentum from the last few weeks. Altmaier looked so good, and Indiana was like, "Fuck you! You're not going to come in. You're not going to come in here." And I think I saw something that said, "Who's your daddy?" And Indiana was definitely Illinois' daddy on Sunday.
Without a doubt. They played well. Mendoza definitely upgraded from Cal. Like he was the reason why Cal won so many games last year. And when he got in the portal, it was like, yeah, okay. I mean, I guess. And then he landed at Indiana, and he played well. And so they I don't know who they have this weekend, but they have Oregon in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think. Oregon has Penn State to bye, and then I think Indiana. And that game's in Eugene. Should be a good time.
Indiana has to go to Kinnick Stadium this weekend in Iowa. We were talking about this game a little bit earlier.
Blowout.
Probably. And, I was kind of thinking to myself too, is this a letdown spot for Indiana, after a big game against Illinois? Not when Illinois didn't put anything out there to make it a hard game at all.
And I don't think the term letdown happens in a Signetti program.
No, and I don't think that they're going to be looking forward to Oregon too much that next weekend. I think they're going to go into Iowa and say like, hey, it might be a tough, gritty ass game, but we're going to do what we have to do to win this football game, because that's been Indiana's MO since Siggetti's gotten there.
Yeah.
Just play to win the game. Don't care how it looks. And I love that. So Indiana definitely was a good surprise to see for me this weekend.
For sure. Quick touch on Iowa real quick. They played Friday night. They played Rutgers. I've seen a lot of people shit on Gronowski for playing bad. I'm sick of it. He's the only reason they're in ball games. He's willing to make the throw. He's moving on the run. He's trying to get first downs. Let the man free. He's got a chance. And if you let him do it, he's the next Iowa quarterback that has a chance to do something special. Instead, we're handcuffing him. Run, play action pass.
And if he wanted to be let free, he should have gone somewhere else other than Iowa.
You're right.
Like, he was great at South Dakota State. I think he now has the most wins out of any active quarterback in Division I football with 54 after that win on Friday. He is talented. There's no doubt about it. But I think if you want the handcuffs taken off of you, why the fuck are we picking Iowa? Like, we've watched what they've done for the last 4, 5, 6, maybe 20 years even.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
it could be
definitely
the
a
next
team that's going to
CJ
run the
Beathard. I
football.
don't know.
Yeah, or who is that? There was a kid that the Vikings took from there a few years ago.
I'm
And
blanking on his name.
I
He
know,
was
and I'm going to be
CJ Beathard,
pissed when I
bro.
see it. I'm going to be pissed
Um,
when I see that kid's name. I'm going
but
to look it up right now.
it was like Friday night, right after halftime of our community high school football game. I took Iowa on the money line at minus 146, and it was like watching them. It was run, melt the clock, and it was like, all right, well, now we need a big play. And Gronowski goes down the field over the shoulder, 45-yard pass. Like, it's in the bag. Let's use it, please. Iowa's much more fun to watch, especially when they get to be the giant slayer. Like, if they get Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, that's way more fun to watch them play. Instead of just sitting there wanting to gouge my eyes out watching them run on the first 3 downs and punt. I hate it. Hate it.
I hate Iowa football in general. But it's how they've always been. They are just they try to keep the ball away from you and slow the game down, and they make you play their game, which I can respect.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't really make for a great, football watching product. And I looked up that kid. It was Nate Stanley.
And that's it. Nate Stanley.
And there was another one
Ohio
here.
State.
We had a Ricky Stanzi. Can't forget about him.
Mm-hmm.
And McNamara. It's not the greatest list of Iowa quarterbacks under Ferentz, but it is what it is, and just kind of depends on how you feel about Iowa football.
Yeah.
So is that your surprise? Surprise guy for the weekend?
No, I mean my surprise. We'll go down the highway by 80 miles or so into Columbia, Missouri, where Bo Perbula and the boys beat the South Carolina Gamecocks with Lenora Sellers playing in the football game. Missouri's for real. They are a for real football team. They can play defense. They get after it. Perbula is young. He's going to make some mistakes, but man, he looks like the real deal. And I think people are starting to come to that notion that Penn State kept the wrong quarterback, whether it was NIL, seniority, whatever it was. I mean, you heard it from James Franklin last year. It's like he did not want to lose Bo Perbula.
No,
he did not. He was pissed. He's like, it's the stupid system. I hate to lose him, but he's got to do it. If he's going to play, he's got to do it now because Aller might come back one more time. I don't know. So he's got to go. And so, he wasn't supposed to start at Missouri, and Horn got hurt, and look where we are now. Missouri is rolling.
Mizzou looked good. They looked really good.
Their all blacks are sick, by the way.
Oh yeah, great uniform. And Perbula, he faced a little bit of adversity during that game. Lenora Sellers was trying to go punch for punch with him, and holy cow, is Lenora Sellers talented.
Very.
Like watching some of those throws he made, I was like, this guy, because I saw him climb up some NFL draft board, those mock stuff
as well.
And the arm talent is definitely there. Like you can't deny that. It's just too bad that college programs don't really do much to develop quarterbacks to go to the NFL anymore.
They just don't have time. Like, that's the thing on the baseball world I hear too, is like, hey, where do you want so-and-so to play? Like, how can we help him in the summertime and prep him? It's like, well, I'd love to have him be here, but I just don't have time to put him there. I can't develop him as a catcher. He can hit, and that's why he's going to be in the lineup somewhere. But if I don't have time to develop him as a middle infielder. And so that's happening in the football world. I mean, we're going to talk about hot seats in a minute, and that's the reason why. Like, if you don't have a quarterback who can help you win games now, there's no point. Get rid of him. Toss him.
Right. And, it's just disappointing because it seems like years past, there was always like these quarterback use or wide receiver use, but now it's like, who's paying me the most money? Where am I going to get to start? Where am I going to get to play? And then, like look at Bo Perbula, for example, like Penn State, great school. It's got a championship pedigree. You have everything you need there. But if you're not going to play, you're not going to develop. Well, I'm going to go to Mizzou. So now you got to learn a whole new system. And then who's to say that he doesn't transfer in another year or two because he wants to go play for a national championship if Mizzou can't get there?
Right.
So,
we saw it with Nico Amiavalava.
Yeah. Yeah, great talent, just didn't work out.
Refused to want to be developed. And I fear with one of the biggest disappointments of the season, I fear with DJ Lagway, that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I also don't think that Billy Napier is doing enough to help out Lagway either. Like it, Florida is just, you watch the Netflix SEC thing. I know you and I both did, and I know people out there probably have as well. And you kind of fell in love with, Napier's like, you could do it, guys. Like, and he had all the respect in the world for Graham Mertz, who looked terrible in the NFL preseason, by the way.
Yep.
But it just doesn't seem like there's enough coaching going on in Florida to really see them push themselves over the edge, even with all the talent they have. Because Lagway is an insanely talented player.
Very.
He's just hopefully not wasting a year at Florida, because if they bring a new guy in, he's probably gone.
I would assume that as well. I don't know where he ends up, but I mean, that was one of the reasons why Arch Manning sat at Texas for so long. He's like, Sark has a long track record at USC, at Washington, Alabama, Texas. Like, I'm not going to get in the portal. If Ewers comes back, I'm going to stick around. And there's some question marks as to whether or not develop's happening there too. I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, he probably needs another year of college football. Like, entering the draft would be silly at this point. He's not ready, clearly. Yeah. And hopefully this year is that step forward where he's like, okay, I saw it and now I get to watch. But I don't know. It's hard to say. There's just not enough time.
Yep, there isn't. And so I guess my disappointment, it would just be just seeing the lack of development with college quarterbacks going to the next level. But that's just my disappointment from the season, disappointment from the week. I don't know, kind of hard to say. The week kind of went true to form. There wasn't anything out there that disappointed me, and I was like, man, I wish they would have played a little bit better. Except for East Carolina, they kind of screwed me up this week.
Bad pick six on the cover.
And Clemson, I guess, would probably be a big one here. I mean, this was a team that we all three of us at the beginning of the season had pegged in the national championship game. Like they brought back so many returners on offense. It seemed like Dabo was going to get in the transfer portal and do some things here, and they just have not been good. Losing to Syracuse at home, losing to who they lose to last week, Georgia Tech,
LSU.
Well, the LSU one at the beginning of the year, that one's more of a coin flip than Georgia Tech and Syracuse.
Yeah, I mean, they played patty cake with Troy for 2.5 quarters before the lightning delay.
Yep. It's just there's big trouble right now in Clemson, and I really don't know what the problem is. I don't know. Like it seems like there's just not enough buy-in from those players, which is weird to see from a Dabo Sweeney coach team. But he did have a quote a few years ago that said, if they ever start paying the players, I'm done coaching. So maybe he's kind of seeing some writing on the wall here and saying, this isn't the college football I signed up for, son. I'm getting out of here. But I highly doubt that with how competitive Dabo is. But it's just been really disappointing for Clemson, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better.
Yeah, I know there's not a lot of upside down there right now. They don't play hard. They don't look like they're trying super hard. They can't run the ball. Everything's on Klubnik's shoulders. They can't even run play action correctly. The receivers dropping balls. Like, it's just gross. On the other side of that, though, I was thinking about it today. A lot of people are throwing around names for the current openings or going to be openings for certain jobs. No one is talking about Fran Brown at Syracuse. Nobody. Guy's been the number one ranked recruiter at 2 different schools, has a national championship, and has now built Syracuse into this, and he's 13-4 as a head coach. If you have resources, I'd call him.
Yeah, I mean,
first call.
It's not a bad option. like you said, he's got the resume. He knows how to recruit. He obviously took a Syracuse team that, and let's be real, Syracuse is a basketball school.
Have you ever been to upstate New York outside of Buffalo and the Adirondacks?
No.
Don't.
Yeah. And so and they also play. Do they still play in the Orange Dome?
Yeah, they still play in the Carrier Dome.
Oh my God. Like it's the fact that he's got a team up there that's probably going to be bowl eligible. That's impressive on its own right. So maybe he will get a job, and there's going to be jobs opening up here pretty soon. Like, could you imagine him going to Oklahoma State,
Florida,
Clemson, like
UCLA, Alabama.
Although DeBoer's seat seems to be cooling down a little bit in recent weeks, but
don't fall for it.
If they beat Georgia this week, that seat is ice cold.
Alabama sucks on the road. That seat's going to get
suck
hot
on the road.
Hot after this weekend.
I love that line right now at -3.
I'm waiting for 2.5. I'm hammering it 2.5.
You're trying to get that hook, huh?
People are going to jump on Alabama this weekend. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know. Because it's Alabama. That's
yeah.
And they're the plus side, the dog side. And so it's a coin flip. Won't be a coin flip. Kirby Smart is, this is going to be one of those, like Georgia's like, yeah, hey, I'm Georgia. Similar to how they did it with Tennessee. It was like, you didn't bury us? Hi, I'm Georgia. Thanks.
Did you have any disappointments this week outside of giving up 7 points to Oregon State?
What do they say? Good teams win, great teams cover.
Yep.
Shout out to the Beavs, baby. Keep covering. Keep doing your job. I think Malik
Oregon just not getting that cover.
Passes. Run defense does concern me a little bit, but that's okay. Disappointment of the weekend. Cal.
Yeah.
Cal
to San Diego State. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, the ultimate. We laid an egg and tried to sleepwalk through a game. I'm not going to put it all on Sekapuatele. Like, if you watch the first quarter of that game, dude was throwing absolute dimes that just receivers put oil on their hands before the game. Couldn't catch anything. Couldn't catch COVID if they were in a freaking apocalyptic zone or whatever they called it.
Yeah, just public transportation in Seattle in 2020.
Yeah, like they legit couldn't catch a damn thing. And so he started to do what every 18-year-old quarterback does in that moment. And you start to be like, all right, well, fine, I'm going to do it myself. And he started pressing and made some mistakes. And San Diego State was like, thank you. We'll take your mistakes and greatly make you pay for it. But Cal Twitter is funny. I think after last week, I saw somebody say, give Wilcox an extension right now, give him a raise. And then they quote tweeted that and said, fire him tomorrow. So Cal Twitter is a good time if you ever get in the Calgorithm. That's a fun time. Good crew. Really fun time. But everybody was like, Cal has a chance to do that thing that Indiana did last year and make the playoff and be like 11-1. Nope. That was a lie. Trap.
Yeah. Little too soon on that trigger, it seems like.
Yeah.
But I think there are teams in the top 25 that are kind of making that case right now to look like Indiana from last year. Like, I'm looking at the top 25 right now, and I see Georgia Tech at 16.
Yep.
That if it's going to be an ACC team, that's my only prediction out of all of this, is that the surprise team is going to be somebody from the ACC, because the ACC, everybody's been talking, it's a cupcake schedule for whomever is playing each other, which is a weird thing to say because it doesn't seem like there's a cream of the crop except for Florida State right now. But maybe there's a little magic over there in Georgia Tech, and you never know what's going to happen.
Their schedule certainly allows for it. They have Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, who they fired their coach.
They fired their head coach. Yep, that's an opening.
Then they have Duke. Then they have Syracuse, but it's at home. NC State, Boston College, Pitt, and then the Ramblin' Wreck takes on Georgia at home. Although I can't remember if they agreed to play that game in the Mercedes-Benz Dome.
Oh, so it could be a neutral site still, is what you're saying.
Well, it won't be a neutral site. That's what sucks is they agreed to do that. And it's like, why would you take it off campus?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a little bit of brand exposure. You know, you got to have that. And I don't know, like Georgia Tech, if Georgia Tech is sitting at like 12, 13, 14 before that game, the Georgia Tech faithful will be supremely outnumbered, but there might be some that show up and try to make it a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, they might be top 10 by the time that they get there. I'm trying to think. LSU has Ole Miss, A&M, Texas left. Oregon has Penn State, Indiana. Oklahoma has Texas, LSU. Florida State has Miami. So they could easily move up. They'll have a chance to be in the top 10 come that game. That'd be a fun little top 10 matchup. It'd be like the days of
on rivalry week,
1-2. Like,
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
College football needs that, by the way. Apple Cup Civil War in week 4 sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like we beat Oregon State, and it's like I don't give a shit. I don't care.
It's hard to when Oregon is just supremely more out talented than Oregon State like this.
Yeah. And we have Penn State this week. It's like, where would I rather be?
Yeah,
that one for sure, right?
So I'm going to get into my top 10 teams in the country right now in this order. I'm still sticking strong with the LSU Tigers. I think they have the best resume out of all of them. And yes, I know Ohio State beat Texas, whatever. Clemson sucks, whatever. But LSU might have been the reason Clemson is so bad, because after that loss, he might have just gave up on the season.
Yeah, it's like the Dublin effect, but it happened in Clemson.
Right. Ohio State's my 2. Hate it, but they got to be there.
Yep.
I have Miami at 3. I was hoping that they'd kind of beat the doors off of Florida a little bit more, but Cristobal has those boys rolling right now. They seem okay. I don't think that they're the number 1 team in the country by any means. I don't think that Florida win is super impressive. The Notre Dame win does not seem as impressive. It was only by possession, and they almost blew that game. Like, let's not forget that they are, just one CJ Carr drive away from being the number 15 team in the country.
Yeah, I mean, Mario tried to have another Mario moment last night, but Florida defensive line was so gassed from playing 97 plays that it wasn't a problem.
I have Penn State at the 4. They were on a bye this week to prepare for Oregon. So not much has changed in there with my opinion on Penn State. But this is the biggest game probably of James Franklin's career in the regular season. I think this, like, if he doesn't win this game, I don't think you can ever trust James Franklin to win in a big game.
At home, week 4 off a bye.
With arguably a more talented roster.
Most likely.
Offensive, defense, special teams, arguably more talented than Oregon. So if he loses that game at home off a bye, I'm gonna have a tough time trusting Penn State come January in December. Georgia at the 5. The Tennessee wins still kind of sticks out to me here, but I do not think that they are better than the teams I put in front of them. I have Oregon at 6. If they beat Penn State, I'm probably leapfrogging them over Ohio State all the way to the 2, maybe even the 1. Oklahoma at 7. That defense is legit. They had a really good game against Auburn. Jackson Arnold might have the worst awareness I've ever seen from a quarterback ever.
Wasn't pretty.
I think I sent it to my friend who's an OU fan, and I said, I think you could drive a semi at Jackson Arnold and he wouldn't see it coming.
Yeah.
So but that Oklahoma defensive line, oh my God, scary.
Monsters, dude. Monsters.
Setting a school record on Saturday, just against Jackson Arnold, they had to feel so good if you're an OU fan. And
Yeah,
I think OU fans are actually feeling like, hey, we might
we're
have a
okay.
shot. We might
Yeah,
have a like this is probably the most hopeful they've felt in a long time. Mateer, one of the top 5 players in college football right now. Their running game is good. I do want to see a little bit more offensive production from them though, and I think they need to do a little bit better job in the secondary. They were keeping the flags in the pockets a little bit against Auburn that game.
they missed 3 or 4 in the fourth quarter alone.
Yeah, but Auburn's got a super talented wide receiver room too. I mean, if I was a corner, that's a tough task. But I think their secondary, especially with that ferocious defensive line, needs to play better, especially in the coming weeks when they have to play Texas. Uh, Number 8, I have Texas A&M. Notre Dame win stands out to me the most out of that one. But again, like a possession away from probably being at 15, 16, 17 on this list. It's crazy how the rankings work, but you got to give the respect where it's due. Texas A&M, it's a good program right now. They've been on the up and up the last few years. Ever since I got rid of Jimbo Fisher, it seems like everything's been trending in the right direction for Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, I have Florida State. Again, just another really solid ACC team. They're taking care of business. They're a 7-point favorite at Virginia this weekend. Saw that line early. Want to jump on it now because I feel like that number is only going to go up in favor of Florida State because Virginia is not very good and Florida State looks really good. So
Yep.
for me, that's how I feel on that. And then Indiana at 10. Real impressive win yesterday. Like that's just beating the shit out of a team. Showed that they were a lot better than Illinois, who was just at number 9 this last weekend. So I feel like the voters put Indiana at 11, but I'm going to put a little bit more respect on their name. I think they're better than Texas. I think they would beat Texas head to head. I think they're a more mature team. I think they're a team that's a little bit more stronger, together, cohesive. And I mean, Texas is just getting to sleepwalk through opponents right now. Arch Manning finally had a good day. But Indiana just beating the brakes off of a top 10 team in the country should put you in the top 10.
I agree. My top 10, pretty similar. I'm going to put the 3 Big Ten teams at the top 3. Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, top 3. I'm going to put Miami at 4. I still don't trust this team, but goddamn, their schedule's so easy.
Yeah.
Mario Cristobal in November should have a much easier time, but I don't know. I still don't trust Mario Cristobal in November. I thought we were moving away from the Mario moments. He tried to have one last night. He ran it, I want to say 15 straight times to close the game, which like classic offensive line meathead response. We're going to run it down your throat and we're going to do it well. And he's just lucky that Florida was out of gas because come somebody else who's a little bit bigger with a little bit more depth. Not going to
be a
work.
lot harder to do.
Yeah, not going to work. Although there's not many teams in the ACC that have depth like that. Florida State might. We'll see. That's in a couple weeks. Georgia, I'm going to put them at the 5. Tennessee win is okay. They should have lost that game. Their schedule also pretty easy. They're going to have 2 top 25 wins after this weekend because they're going to kill Alabama.
I agree.
I'll move Oklahoma up. That's fine.
You hate it though.
I see after the first 5, I'm out because now we can play mix and match.
Sure.
You could put USC in the top 10 at this point. I don't know. Shit, they've played good enough. Like Ole Miss, I'm gonna put Ole Miss in my top 10. Why are they 13?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Like you said, it's a whole mix and match thing. What about Texas Tech? They're sitting there at 12 in the AP polls. I considered putting them in the top 10.
Yeah.
Utah was pretty disappointing at home this weekend. I will say that. I was disappointed in the Utes. But Texas Tech is legit.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Their defense also gets after it, and this is the worst they're going to be over the next decade.
Yeah, and the way that Texas Tech has always played has been that run and gun or the air raid, whatever you want to call it. Like
It's a mix.
And Baron Morton, kid can sling the football.
Dog.
Yeah, dog.
Dog. Well,
I'll give
be
him some dog status.
Yeah, could be Heisman contender at the end of the year.
Top
Texas, 6, top 7 for sure.
If Texas Tech goes undefeated and they find their way in the CFP, which they certainly could, why not?
Yeah. I'll put Florida State in my top 10. Ole Miss is going in my top 10. Trinidad Chambliss is a dude. Like D2 dog comes up to D1 dog, no problem. Tulane, got it. Arkansas, got it, no problem, got it. Lane Kiffin, he's my man.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin, he's a pretty good coach.
Yeah,
I'm still curious to. I really wish he would have gotten that Alabama job. And I think Alabama fans might be thinking the same thing.
I don't know if he wanted it, to be honest with you.
It's a hard job to take.
Yeah, follow the greatest coach in college football history.
Yeah.
But
tough
gig.
Instead, they took the guy from UW.
Yeah. Imagine Lane Kiffin, because Saban still has his office there.
Yeah.
And Saban ripped Kiffin's ass a lot.
Oh, a
lot.
A ton.
So could you imagine following him in the footsteps? And he's, Lane, the hell did you do to my football team? This is my program, damn it. You ruined it.
I've been working so hard to build this thing up, son.
Miss
and you
Terry's
go out there
so pissed. But I actually think Ole Miss has a chance to win the SEC this year. I think I said it at the beginning of the year. I thought that they were probably top 3 in the SEC. Offensively, they've kind of figured it out. They're starting to go now. Chambliss might be better than Simmons. Possible. Might be. He's got to do it against a little bit better competition, I think. Arkansas defense is bad. Tulane defense is bad. And this weekend we'll find out. We'll find out. And then I gotta put one more team in there.
Yep, I think you got one more because you left out Texas A&M
and Florida State.
You put Florida State in there.
Oh, did I? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll leave it at Texas A&M. I said that Marcel Reed was my dark horse for the Heisman Trophy. Yep. I'm going to stand by that. I'm going to own that.
Kid's good.
Yeah, they're much better with him playing quarterback. And so I still like them. I don't love their schedule. I don't love their matchups, but we'll see. I think we've started to figure it out. Big Ten top 3 is Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon. That 4th is between Indiana, USC, and Nebraska's probably out now. And Michigan's definitely in there. Michigan doesn't play a legit defense for the rest of the year until they play Ohio State, which I'm talking about who's your daddy. Until you beat the boys of Maize and Blue, you can't do nothing. Can't do anything.
And I know Illinois is still kind of creeping back there. They'll certainly be talked about as the year goes on, but I don't know. I don't know how you can lose by 53 to an Indiana team that, coming into that week, you were probably like, I don't know how lightly Illinois was taking Indiana or if Illinois was looking ahead to USC. But, I mean, they got shellacked, dude. It was an ugly game by Illinois.
Yeah. They'll be good enough for like let's see, what else does the Big Ten have? Are they playing the Gator Bowl? Yeah, something like that. The Bad Boy Gasparilla Mowers Gator Bowl or whatever.
Some shit like that.
Whatever. Who cares?
Maybe we can get a National Pumps Podcast Bowl.
National Chumps Potty Bowl would be sick. Like the Barstool Bowl.
Yeah, Chump
That'd
Bowl.
Be fun. Chump Bowl.
You play in the chump bucket.
But you actually can't be bowl eligible. You have to have 0 wins on the year. It's the 2 worst teams.
Yes. I like
National
this
Championship.
We want a chump bucket bowl.
Yes.
Give me your worst teams in college football, and we'll broadcast it.
I want Miami of Ohio versus UCLA.
I don't know if those are the two absolute worst teams in college football, but maybe Oklahoma. But maybe Oklahoma State. Maybe Oklahoma State could be in that bowl.
Could qualify. Big 12, I think, is now down to Iowa State and Texas Tech. I think that's pretty certain. BYU's okay, but they're not going to be good enough to beat either of those two teams. Arizona State, you want to talk about a gauntlet? Man, they have BYU, Baylor, Texas Tech, Utah. Like, they have a gauntlet coming in 4 weeks. If they survive, if they don't. But
what about TCU?
I like TCU. They didn't play as good against SMU as I thought they were going to this weekend. But I don't think that they're good enough to beat Texas Tech, and I don't know if they're good enough to beat Iowa State. That game would be good. A lot of points. I take the over there. But I think the Big 12 is between Iowa State and Texas Tech at this point.
But if you look at TCU's schedule the rest of the way, they host Colorado in a couple weeks. So they go to Arizona State this weekend. They play against Colorado. They go to Kansas State. They host Baylor. They go to West Virginia. And then November 8th is the Big Tilly against Iowa State. And if they win that game, they're in the conversation.
Yeah.
And I think they have the quarterback to do it.
Yeah, Hoover's a dude. He can sling it. He can sling it.
And I think TCU gets a lot of disrespect.
Sonny Dykes did go to a national title.
Yeah. I mean, destroyed, but went to a national title.
And he was good when he was coaching at Cal. Cal was good.
So let's go back to Oklahoma State, because I think Mike Gundy's seat is the hottest in college football right now.
Oh, I think the seat doesn't exist. I think they're going to let him finish the year.
They're going to have enough grace for him to let him finish the year, enough respect there.
I think you have to, right? Like, at this point, what's it do you? Like, if you fire him now, like, what do you get out of it?
Maybe like, satisfy some fans.
Maybe, but I think the fans are probably okay with just it'll be what it be, and then we recruit and portal our way through the next couple of years. It's going to suck anyway, so embrace the suck.
Sure. I think another hot seat is obviously Dabo Swinney. But I don't know if they fire him or if they ask him to resign. I don't, or if he just resigns on his own. This is the most talented Clemson team he's ever had. And they're 1-3.
Those teams with Trevor Lawrence are pretty good.
Yeah, and the Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins teams are good too. But I think if you're returning this many guys, you have one of the easier schedules in the ACC. And then you come out and go 1-3 in your first 4. Like, I don't know if there's anything you could do to turn this around.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I was listening to Unnecessary Roughness on Barstool the other night, and I think Brandon Walker said it the best. It's best to just have a divorce at this point. Mutually just agree to be like, we're going to go do our own thing. If you want to go coach. But we got to start over. But for Clemson, you have to remember, be careful what you ask for. This is exactly what Texas did to Mac Brown.
Yeah.
This is exactly what USC did to Pete Carroll. The grass is not always greener. It sucks right now. And like Dabo said the other day, he's just figuring this coaching thing out. He just turned 55.
Yeah. Just figuring it out.
Yeah. Just learning. Has 2 national titles. Had no idea what he was doing.
But I mean, it is different now. It's not the same as it was when he won the 2 national titles. It's a different ball game. It's a different thing. And it probably crushes him going against some of his original values that he stood on for so long.
Yeah.
I think at some point it catches up to you. And unless he goes to a program where, like, where would he go that would make the most sense for Dabo Swinney to take over?
UCLA.
Maybe, but then you got to deal with Nico.
Oh, he'll kick him out.
Yeah, or Nico leaves on his own again because he doesn't like what's going on at UCLA. You know, kid sounds like he's kind of entitled a little bit, but
I don't know if it's him or if it's I assume dad. Dad probably has to be part of it.
well, I mean, we know this as people that parents can have a huge influence on the way that we think or the way that their
No,
children think,
no,
and I don't think it's not always a bad thing. Like I think,
no.
but if he's hearing this from if he's listening to dad more than he's listening to Josh Heppel, that's a concern. It's not everybody gets to be like Shadur and play for daddy at D1 football.
Nope. And
It's
look
not
how
how
that
it
turned
works.
out.
Yeah, you were a day 3 pick when you were probably a day 2 talent. And now you're
Probably.
sitting behind Dylan Gabriel,
Yep.
who respectfully, I don't even know if is worthy of being on an NFL field for the next 3 or 4 years.
Probably not. I love DG, but
He's sitting behind 41-year-old Joe Flacco, who got a win today.
ring me. Guy's got a Super Bowl.
But yeah, I mean, Dabo's hot, Gundy's hot.
Napier's on fire.
Yeah, the Boo Birds are calling in Florida, just like they were last year. So now it's back-to-back years. We have to listen to the Boo Birds chirp, and I don't know if they fire him this week. I don't know if they have enough respect for him to let him finish it off, though.
And that's going to be the hard part is he has a massive buyout too. Like that's with these new age coaches, man, if you don't get it right, you're paying $75-80 million to fire somebody. That's killer. That is killer to decades and decades worth of revenue sharing later on. So you kind of have to get it right. That buyout, I think that buyout goes down in February, probably right after the portal window closes. And so I would assume they might give him grace to just sit it out and eat it up and hope he turns it around.
Yeah.
Another one who I'm surprised has made it this far into the to the Sunday night hour. Sam Pittman at Arkansas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. I don't think Arkansas has been all that bad.
They just lost to Memphis.
This loss to Memphis this last week was brutal. But if you listen to me last week, took Memphis plus 7.5, maybe put a little money on that sprinkle. Some people could just see it coming. Maybe Memphis is a good team.
Good football team.
Maybe they're trying to get into the SEC and they need to find a way to win SEC games. And Arkansas just kind of sleptwalk through it because it's, the Memphis.
Bad turnover with a minute to go.
Horrible turnover with a minute to go. Luke Fickell should be gone yesterday, but he's not.
Yeah, there's another one that, good Lord, how the mighty have fallen. He had Cincinnati in the college football playoff as the outside group of 5 in the 14 playoff with Sauce Gardner, Desmond Ritter. And Wisconsin, they can't get anything going. There's no momentum. None. 10.5 point favorites at home against Maryland with a freshman quarterback. And they get destroyed.
And this is one of those jobs too, Wisconsin. Pretty good job to great program, tradition,
history.
Right? Like you have a lot of good people that have come through Wisconsin. You get to play in the Big Ten. As long as you can handle the cold and drunk Wisconsinites, I think they go by, or Wisconsinians. I don't know.
Sounds right.
Could care less. But it's a good job. And Fickell has just really shit the bed on that one.
Yeah, they just can't. They can't get anything going. He's a defensive guy by nature, and they can't even do that.
Yeah, in Wisconsin. And that's crazy to me.
The place where you could get offensive linemen like this, you can get running backs like that, Rose Bowls, and Barry Alvarez. Come on, man. Yeah, I'm surprised he's actually made it this far as well. But what are you going to do? I mean, they played with a backup quarterback down in Tuscaloosa. He got hurt in week 1. They're currently my rebuild in my NCAA 26 dynasty. We just lost to Penn State in the national semifinal. Finished the year 13-2. You can win there if you need to. If you need to win, there's ways.
Yeah. Does anybody stick out to you for any jobs, any job openings, any coaching candidates out there that could maybe move from this group of 5 to the Power 4?
Well, Will Stein's Oregon's offensive coordinator has been rumored to almost every job that's open so far.
Which makes sense. I mean, it's one of the
does.
most coveted offenses in the country, and he's behind all of it.
And think about what he's done. So, like, he in high school, he was part of Baker Mayfield's career. Then he gets Bo Nix in his senior year and revamps. Bo Nix leads the country in passing percentage. Then he gets Dylan Gabriel, goes undefeated. This year he gets redshirt sophomore Dante Moore, who looks legit, can throw the ball all over the yard, is willing to scheme and design around quarterbacks and their skill set and the skill guys he has. So I think he's going to be picky about which job he gets. I actually wouldn't be shocked if an NFL coordinator came calling for him, just with how he schemes and moves people around. I wouldn't be shocked if that was a thing too. Like, I don't know if he's waiting for the NFL. I don't know if he wants to be a head coach. Shane Beamer's been rumored to like every job. Fran Brown, I talked about. Supposedly John Gruden wants in the coaching world. I don't know. Wouldn't that be fun?
John Gruden at Florida? You kidding me? That would be awesome.
That'd be fun.
The Tulane coach, Sumrall, is that his name? John Sumrall? He's got to be on the wish list for a lot of these programs looking to turn it around. Dan Mullen, UNLV.
I think he needs one more year, UNLV. I think he needs one more.
And then the guy from Memphis, because Memphis has been pretty good the last few years. Silverfield, I think is his name.
Yeah, people have been on talking about Jed Fish at Washington as well, that he's not exactly happy in Seattle and he might have taken the wrong job after he left Arizona. Offensive guru, defense can't do anything.
Yeah.
And he has a guy who's playing quarterback who weighs 160 pounds.
Well, and another thing that kind of could stand out to us here is if you think James Franklin is going to be safe if they end up not winning the Big Ten.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Because I think it's kind of like what you said about Dabo. The grass isn't always greener, right?
It's not, but it's also Penn State. Like, I feel like if there's anybody who could lure Nick Saban out of retirement, Penn State has a lot of money.
John Gruden.
I don't know if they would go after Gruden. I don't know if he fits their MO, but like Penn State, Nick Saban was a West Virginia guy. He's from the Mid-Atlantic area. I don't know why you get rid of James Franklin. He's going to win 10 games every year. He did it at Vandy. He's done it at Penn State. He's going to go to the playoff every year as long as he doesn't lose to Ohio State and Oregon in the same year.
Which you could.
It's possible. It's possible.
And then go 0-1 in the playoff again. And if he loses that playoff game, I don't know, man. I could see Penn State being a little bit like, okay, you're not the guy to win the big game. We're going to move on.
Yep. Does Hugh Freeze make it to the end of the year?
I think so. I think he'll make it to the end of the year. I don't know if he'll make it to next year, but I think he'll make it to the end of the year.
Just remember, Auburn created a fake sexual harassment, sexual assault stuff with interns on Brian Harsin just so he would leave. It was fake. It wasn't real. They made it up.
That's so crazy, dude.
And then they hired Hugh Freeze on the back end of that.
That is fucking nuts.
Auburn's crazy.
Yeah, but if they would have beaten Oklahoma, we're not having this conversation now.
I still think we're having the conversation.
You think so? Yeah. I think Hugh Freeze is also kind of fake. I think he's kind of a phony. I think I just don't think he has very much confidence in what he does there. I
He
think
brought in
he's,
Jackson Arnold.
yeah, who is not good at OU.
No,
And then just watching Jackson Arnold run around is awful.
there
But
was 95 bajillion quarterbacks in the portal, and he picked Jackson Arnold.
to throw to that insanely talented group of wide receivers he has down there in Auburn,
Carson Beck, Devin Dampier.
Jackson Arnold.
Give me Jackson Arnold.
Hey, to each their own.
I suppose.
But Hugh Freeze could have definitely a pretty hot seat too. And I'm sure that there's some other non Power Four schools that have some insanely bad starts right now that people are like, get rid of this guy. It's like, who cares? We're Middle Tennessee.
I mean, I've seen Norvell's name floated around at Colorado State.
Oh, really?
Yeah. People are not happy.
Well, I mean, after what I saw last night, I probably wouldn't be very happy either if I was a Colorado State fan.
Should have lost to Northern Colorado.
Should have lost Northern Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
That was brutal, dude.
Brutal. Here's the last one I'll ask you. With Sharon Moore's suspension being over, if Michigan comes out and is the Michigan of old, do they fire Sharon Moore at the end of this year?
That's a good question. I don't think that they would go that far. I think that Jerome Moore obviously was a big part of bringing in Bryce Underwood and this whole recruiting class. And they're not going to look like the Michigan of old. This schedule for Michigan is pretty good, pretty light. If he finds a way to mess it up, then I think they'll have some serious conversations with him at the end of the year. But I would say there's a 15%, 10% chance that somebody else is leading that team next year, unless they really like the guy from within that has been coached in the last couple of weeks.
I like Poggi a lot. He's great. He's got so many good one-liners.
Yeah, but he's also just kind of like grandpa coaching out there. Like like he's done his job. They've gotten the wins, but
they look good doing it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's also old Michigan, right? They're running the football and playing good defense.
Yeah,
that's Sharon Moore right there.
Opening holes of the size semi trucks could fit through.
Golly, Justice Haynes could run for days through that hole. You and I could get a 3-yard gain through that hole.
Put on the pads. Let's do it, baby.
Yeah, just open it up. It doesn't matter who it is. I'll get in there.
I was going to say, he's another one. Dark horse, Heisman candidate. Ends on the 5s. It's a running back year. Every single year that ends in a 5, running back, Heisman Trophy candidate.
So you're thinking Justice Haynes is a candidate?
He's got to be, right?
I mean, he does have some of the most explosive plays in college football right now. Like, the only reason they're in that game against Oklahoma is because of that run.
And I feel like every time it's a Michigan highlight, it's him running for 95,000 yards down the sideline.
It's awesome. But it's just Michigan football. Donovan Edwards did the same shit. Corey Hart used to do the same shit back in the day. It's just how Michigan plays.
Yeah. Ahmad Hardy at Mizzou is another one, running back, dark horse.
Yeah, he was pretty good last night.
He's been good all year. He runs hard.
Jeremiah Love, he's always going to be in there.
Oh, yeah.
Another great Michigan back in the day. You got to look at Blake Corum too. He got 50 yards on the ground today in LA.
Yep.
Against Philly.
Can a whole running back stable win the Heisman as a group?
Ooh, no.
That'd be fun. Oregon has run out 7 running backs every game.
Yeah, just Oregon running backs. I mean, they should. Like, if
even the punter got a carry this weekend.
If Dan Lanning would just pick one, they'd probably be at the top of the list for a Heisman.
I mean, they're averaging 250 yards on the ground every game. do that math. Gross.
Yeah. If you were gonna pick a Heisman winner for the month of September, who would you pick?
It has to go to John Mateer, right?
John Mateer is a good candidate. Yeah, I would probably say John Mateer. Speaking of another running back that could be on your Heisman watch list, Robert Henry Jr. from the University of Texas, San Antonio. Wow, can that kid run the football? He
Dog.
looked so good last night against Colorado State. I mean, I would say Mateer as well. He's
got 2
probably
ranked
played the
wins.
best. Jaden Mavia might be a candidate as well,
They didn't play anybody. That's so boring. Like,
but he still looks good.
it's like the Jaden Daniels shit all over again. Hey, he's gonna play all 4 quarters, and we're gonna be up 75-3. Throws another touchdown.
Just saying, he's looked pretty good.
Yeah, my Evans look pretty good at USC. I mean, it's Lincoln Riley's offense. That's how it's gonna go.
You know what's going to really suck at the end of the year? That's probably the last thing I'm going to say before we head off here. Miami could be the number 1 overall seed in the playoff. It's probably it's looking that way right now.
If they beat Florida State, yeah, hand it to them. Hand it to them. Sharpie.
Golly, and that just sucks.
The U is kind of back.
U is back, but I mean, I think that's a good spot to end.
For sure. I think we're gonna come back Thursday afternoon for some picks in the biggest weekend so far this college football season.
Watch out for those UW Huskies. I think they're pulling a big upset this weekend.
I think that they fucking stink.
Me too, but I think Ohio State's going to stink worse on Saturday. Stink more? Stink worse?
It's a lose for me. I'm staying out of it.
All right. Like, follow, subscribe. We're trying to get up to 1,000 followers so we could go live on a couple of our picks. Maybe do a live Saturday watch session. That would be super awesome. We appreciate you for listening to us. We hope that you enjoy what we have to say. If you have any comments, please let us know. Reach out to us through the comments on YouTube or reach out to us personally if you know us. We love to talk the game, whether we're right or wrong. We just like to have fun doing it. So, Chumps out.
Chumps out.